right? This is a pretty crucial time in our city because we're growing so fast right now. You've heard this over and over again about how quickly Idaho Falls is growing, and people don't want it to change. Well, we need steady leadership. We need people who understand the history of the city, which I do very well.
Election season is here, and we've got a number of local races happening throughout eastern Idaho. In Idaho Falls, there is a race for mayor and city council. Jim Freeman is a two-term city councilman seeking re-election for seat 6. He has one challenger for this seat, James Skinner, whom we've spoken with before. But Jim Freeman is joining us now via Zoom from his home in Idaho Falls to talk about why he's seeking re-election and what some of his most noteworthy accomplishments are over the last 4 years. Jim, thanks for taking a few minutes with me today.
Thank you, Rhett. I'm pleased to be here.
Let's start with why are you seeking re-election?
Well, there's things that are undone. A lot of the things I ran on originally 8 years ago with the police complex and among other things, and improvements to the golf courses, and those things have been accomplished. But we have a lot of things left to do. And one of the things that I'm really interested in right now, seeing through, is we've started developing a plan for a river corridor to protect our river corridor, which had never been done before, unbelievably. And I brought it up, and we're kind of getting in the starting steps right now to follow through and develop a plan similar to what Boise has along their river, in order to protect the river for future generations.
Election day is November 4th, and again, Jim Freeman is one of two candidates that will be on the ballot for seat 6. Um, Jim, if kind of going back, I guess looking back over the last 8 years, what do you consider your greatest accomplishment up to this point?
Uh, Top of that list, it's got to be the police complex, our Idaho Falls Police Complex, just to get that through and get the funding done and see that to completion. But one of the things that I don't think people think about so much is the fiber project that we've done, where we've taken fiber to every home in the city of Idaho Falls, and that was a Herculean task to get that done, millions of dollars, and it's starting to pay off now. And actually, we're using that fiber optic network right now as we talk. So it's great to have that to every home.
Okay, well, so Jim, it's I want to get to know you a little bit. So, you were first elected, you first ran for city council 8 years ago. Um, what what motivated you to get involved in local politics initially?
Well, I have a history in my family. My motto is a legacy of service. So my grandfather, Russell Freeman, who the park is named after and the street is named after, was on the city council back in the 40s and 50s. My father was also on the city council in the 60s and 70s. And then I worked for the city for 26 years. Couldn't run for council during that time as an employee, but soon after I retired, I decided to run for council, and it's been a really great thing. It's really enriched my life, and I hope I've done a lot of good for the citizens of Idaho Falls.
What was your position with the city?
I worked for the fire department for 26 years. I retired as a captain. So I was a paramedic, a firefighter, and then a captain at the end of my career.
Gotcha. Okay. So a long time history of family members running for elected office. What kind of projects was your dad involved with on the city council?
Well, he was on the council after the Teton Dam flood, and when we built the bold turbines on the river, for the with the Idaho Falls Power, and that was really a big project for him. But he was also very involved with the wastewater treatment plant in getting that we still enjoy today. We have a lot of capacity left in our wastewater treatment plant, and my dad was very involved with that.
And what about your grandfather? What did he accomplish in
Well,
office?
Grandpa Russ was the architect of our city parks. He started the Greenbelt. When he was on the city council, there wasn't a tree in sight along the river, and he started planting trees. He had a degree in forestry from Wabash University in Indiana. And once he got on the city council, the mayor, and I think it was Mayor Fanning at that time, tasked my grandfather with developing a green space along the river, and he was the one that started the Greenbelt. He also planted all the trees at Pinecrest Golf Course and at Rose Hill Cemetery.
So you worked for the city for, you said 26 years
Hmm.
before getting elected. Was working for the city like, was it your family's history of, you know, seeking elected office that kind of motivated you for a city position or?
It was actually, yeah. I mean, I'd always had it in the back of my mind. I was very interested in politics, growing up in that environment with my dad being on council and my grandpa being on council. So yeah, I was taught from as a very, very young man that, you want to give back to your community.
Like we mentioned, there you have one challenger. Anything you want to tell voters as to why it's, why they should vote for you over your challenger in
Well,
this upcoming election?
sure. And I think experience matters, right? This is a pretty crucial time in our city because we're growing so fast right now. You've heard this over and over again about how quickly Idaho Falls is growing, and people don't want it to change. Well, we need steady leadership. We need people who understand the history of the city, which I do very well, and going forward, we just got to keep the small town feel of our town, but we're going to have to control this growth and do the best we can to make sure Idaho Falls doesn't get changed, that we don't recognize it.
But if you're reelected, what's your big focus for the next 4 years?
Well, a couple of people have talked about this already, but I'm gonna chime in on it too because we've talked about having a new recreation center and a community center for 30 years. Ours is outdated. We've done some great improvements to the rec center, but we really do need a community center that's good for everyone. That young people can use and old people can use, and they can take a walk in the winter. We've done a lot of great things with the swimming pool right now with the aquatic center, but we could maybe roll something like that into this community center. Um, I'd like to see us get a second sheet of ice. We're at capacity at the hockey arena now. And a second sheet of ice has been on my radar for a number of years. I coached hockey. My kids both played hockey. Um, we're in the process right now working on a fire training center, a regional center, and to become the leader in this area for fire training. And then, as you've known, the airport is expanding so fast. Our flights are increasing, the number of people coming through our airport, and we need to do expansion at the airport, and that's going to be a heavy lift. So those are the things are on the horizon for me.
Jim, I appreciate your time. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I just like to brag about the city that we live in because I'm very proud of it, and I've lived here my whole life, and I think things are going very well, and I think the growth is going to continue because we do live in such a great place, and so people are coming here, and we're going to have to manage that growth, and I think that with my leadership and my vision and my record that I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to lead us.